behalf of all the community partners, I'm excited to announce that we will hold the third annual Propel Ohio Collegiate Leadership Summit on Friday, November 17th at the University of Akron. Last year, 250 students from 69 colleges and universities from our state alone came together to tackle some of the most pressing issues you'll face as our country's future leaders. This year, students through Propel Ohio will continue to tackle the enduring and heartbreaking problem of childhood poverty, ensuring that all children, regardless of their zip code, their background, the color of their skin, have the opportunity to succeed. Ensuring that all children do is one of our most fundamental obligations as a society. I hope all Ohio undergraduate students, whether at a university or a community college or a regional campus, visit my website, brown.senate.gov, for more information. You can sign up for updates. You can be on the lookout for the application this summer. I hope to see you at Propel Ohio in Akron this November. Thank you so much. I'm Senator Sherrod Brown. On behalf of all the community partners, I'm excited to announce that my office will hold our third annual Women's Leadership Summit on Saturday, September 9th in our state capitol in Columbus. For the past 2 years, close to 1,000 women have come together in Cincinnati, the first year, in Cleveland, the second year, to draw inspiration from local leaders and national leaders, and especially from each other. This year, the theme of the summit is Telling Your Story. Women are the future of Ohio businesses and families in higher education and government. You all have stories to tell that help make our state a better place. Discussions will highlight some remarkable women, including my friend Senator Kamala Harris, who's breaking down barriers in the Senate. She's from California, and whom I've almost forgiven for beating me in a bet over the NBA Finals. Also, will Pulitzer Prize winning journalist, Kent State professor Connie Schultz will speak. She also happens to be my wife. The conference is free. It's open to all Ohio women. You just have to register ahead of time. Visit my website, brown.senate.gov, brown.senate.gov, for more information. See you at the Women's Leadership Summit in September in Columbus. Thank you so much. I'm Sherrod Brown. It's a privilege to serve as a United States Senator. Thanks to all the mentors and the parents and our partner organizations for your work in making this event possible. I, of course, want to thank, most importantly, the students. You come from a state with a proud history of innovation and invention, from John Glenn, the first American to orbit the Earth, to the Wright brothers, the inventors of the first successful airplane, to Thomas Edison, who gave us the electric light. But without engineers and welders and aerospace workers, John Glenn's space capsule would never have left the Earth. Without skilled manufacturers making airplanes, the Wright brothers might have been the only ones to ever take flight. Workers across Ohio and the country turned that first spark of electricity into light bulbs and later into televisions and computers. Have you ever wondered how all these items we take for granted, cars to airplanes, houses to computer chips, how they're made? Workers around our state use math and science, computer skills and creativity, high-tech design programs, and lots of imagination to quite literally manufacture the world we live in today. We need talented, curious students like you to become the next generation of Ohio makers and dreamers and manufacturers to turn these dreams into reality. There are more opportunities than ever, whether it's using a 3D printer to create devices used by doctors, or mastering new manufacturing techniques to make engines that power jets, or using the latest materials to build bridges and skyscrapers. We do all those things in Ohio. As you visit manufacturers and tech companies over the next few days, think of all the different paths you could choose. I look forward to seeing how far you will go and how proud you will make your family, your friends, in our home state. Thank you so much. Anyone who knows me knows that I love sports. Sports give people hope. As the former Chief Justice Earl Warren of the United States Supreme Court once said, I always turn to the sports section first. The sports page records people's accomplishments. The front page has nothing but man's failures. All sports fans revel in their victories, but no one more so than Cleveland sports fans. We always believe in our teams. We don't give up hope. We hang on to the joy of each win as though each one is its own miracle. Lately, I've been thinking about what felt like a miracle that took place on the baseball field just a few weeks ago in Cleveland. Carlos Carrasco, the Indians' #2 starter, pitched an immaculate inning. Immaculate inning is 9 pitches, 9 strikes, 3 outs. Amazingly, it's only the 86th time that's happened in baseball in the last 28 years. 86 times in 128 years. So how rare of a feat is an immaculate inning? Well, let's do some math. Right now in Major League Baseball, there are 30 teams. 30 teams, 162 games. They each play 162 games, but those 30 teams play each other. So it's 30 times 162 divided by 2 because there are 15 games played 162 times. Now, because it's a 9-inning game, 9, which means 18 half innings, you multiply by 18. That's pretty logical. So what we get is, I only know this because we figured out ahead of time. I could estimate, but I'm not going to do that. 43,740 chances to pitch an immaculate inning. Now, for those of you that are going to nitpick this, and of course, some of you baseball fans and math nerds will do that. We also know, of course, that sometimes there aren't 18 chances in a game. Sometimes more than half the games, actually, the home team doesn't bat in the bottom of the ninth because they've already won, so they don't bat. So there's only 17 times in those games, but we figure more or less that's made up for by the fact that some games go into extra innings, 10, 12, 15 innings, and then there's a number more. But so in other words, more or less, that there are 43,000 chances to pitch an immaculate inning in the course of a year. Now, somebody else, others of you who know baseball well, will say, well, there haven't always been 30 teams in the major leagues. I remember when I was a kid, some of you will say, who are no longer young, you will say there were only 8 American League teams and 8 National League teams. There were only 16 teams. And then you'll remember in the early 60s, I believe it was the Angels and the Mets were added and some other teams. The last time we added teams to get to 30, I believe, was about 20 years ago. But now, in the last 20 years, 30 teams, so 15 games times 262 games times 18 chances. So, in other words, immaculate innings don't happen very often. They only happened 6 times in the year 2016 and 17 combined. In history, as I said, 81 players, 86 times, 81 players have achieved an immaculate inning. And if you know baseball trivia, you could guess some of them. Sandy Koufax, the great Dodger left-hander, did it 3 times. Lefty Grove for the Philadelphia A's did it twice. Nolan Ryan for the Mets and Houston and the Angels and other teams did it twice. Randy Johnson, the tall left-hander, did it twice. So watching that history in front of our eyes, think of the odds. So of course I congratulate a Cleveland Indian for being the most recent pitcher to do this, for making history right at home, 10 miles from the house that Connie and I live in and in the southeast part of Cleveland at Progressive Field. I also, okay, this is more important, I admit. I want to congratulate Carlos Carrasco for something else. Last August, he became a United States citizen. Carlos Carrasco came to this country 13 years ago to pitch for the Phillies. The Indians were smart enough to trade for him. And my understanding is, spoke almost no English when he arrived. He once said one of the things he always loved about baseball is that it allowed him to dream. And now we get to watch those dreams come to life right at Progressive Field.